Hello, everyone. This is Jim from Marketing Beef, according to Jim. And hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. This is the first week of December. And I'm going to start on something. I'm kind of starting on something here that I haven't, I've touched on a little bit, but I haven't touched on a lot. I've been reading through Facebook quite a bit. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these buying services pop up, selling their beef online. There's all kinds of them that are now popping up, and they're having these fancy commercials about people opening up these pretty boxes and then there's meat in there. And it's got me wondering. It's like, I'm not one of those guys that goes out and buy stuff like that. I mean, I'll buy from a local farmer or somebody that I know, and they want to ship me beef. That's fine because I know how it's raised. I know who it is. I know everything about them, so I'm not apprehensive about giving my credit card to them or anything like that. But these buying services, there's so many of them which they don't list who the actual producer is of the beef. It's just a conglomerate or a business that grabs beef from wherever. They package it up, put in a nice box, have some cool marketing, and they sell it. But the customer has absolutely no idea where it's coming from. They don't know what kind of cow it is. They don't know how old it is. They don't know how it was raised. They don't know anything about it. And then they're willing to give a credit card to this service over the internet, and in exchange they get a box of beef. And I still don't get it because they can go out their door and go anywhere they want to a local producer and get the same thing. So I was wondering, these people, where they're at and what their reason is for buying it. Is this really because no one's ever contacted them about buying beef? And that's a big shame. I was also reading on a couple of the Facebook pages of some local producers around here where they were selling their beef, but the comments from people were, "Hey, I didn't know you sold beef, so send me a price list." And I read that over and over in a couple of these because these guys were selling lamb and pork and stuff, but they said we're also selling beef, and these customers saying, "Why do you know you sold beef?" And I'm thinking again, what a waste. If these people already know you and they already know these producers, why don't they know they sell beef? I mean, why aren't you telling people what you sell and what you produce? Are you doing farm tours? I mean, what's going on? Why don't people know this stuff, especially in your local area? And why are people buying online? You guys have there's people raising beef all over the place. Why are these people have to buy online from somebody they don't know and giving their credit card over the phone to somebody or over the internet? Again, it makes no sense to me whatsoever why anybody would want to do this. And I get mad a little bit because these local producers are losing so much money by not going out and telling people what they do and soliciting, especially the people they already know. And that's the first thing I taught was is contact your circle, your base. I mean your relatives, your friends, past customers. Why haven't you contacted them and let them know what you do? Even if it's a small town, you could put an ad in the local paper for hardly any amount of money and let people know what you do. Again, it's such a huge waste of money while they're sending their money to somebody they don't even know where it's coming from or who would even producing it. Doesn't make any sense. So, and I was back then, and I was thinking also, I was like, well, all these farmers or ranchers, you guys are so smart. You can do a lot of things. You can produce cattle, you can fence, there's so many things that come your way. You can solve problems, you can fix machinery. That means you guys are incredibly smart. But in college, when I was taking marketing, and everybody else I've talked to is taking marketing, they don't teach anything about what we're doing. They teach you how to build a website. Okay, big deal. But have they ever taught how you talk to customers? Have they ever taught face to face selling? Have they ever practiced going out and talking to people about a product? No. You know, they got these fancy websites, but I think a farm tour would be a lot more beneficial. I mean, why don't they teach people to come out and do farm tours? If you can have a farm tour, you're going to get more information out of that than they're going to get from a website that somebody drew up. They got a lot of fancy words and everything, but it doesn't make any sense. I'd rather bring somebody out to do a farm tour. I know I got them for life after that. So, but no one in college teaching that. They don't teach follow up. Like, how do you follow up with a customer after you sell them? How do you get back to them? At what time frame? How to ask for referrals? how to know when to contact them, when not to contact them. They're not teaching human behavior as far as how to read people, how to read their expressions, what they say, their eye contact. They're not teaching any of this stuff. But you can probably build a hell of a website by the time you leave college. Big, huge waste of money. This is a people business. We gotta have long-term customers. They should be having course after course after course on how do you maintain your customer base. There's nothing more important than maintaining a customer you already have. A lot of people are hiring, and I've been reading on this Facebook stuff too. A lot of people hiring professional marketing managers to help them get customers, which again makes no sense because these professional marketing managers, all they do is tell you what to do. They help you build a site. They don't teach you to go out face to face and talk to people. They're hiring PR firms, spending all this money for them to go out and put ads in the paper and do some online marketing. People are selling them, you guys lists. Hey, I can sell you 1,000 or 10,000 email addresses that they got. Everybody seems to have like an answer for you to make money, but really all they're doing is making the money. You're paying them, but they're not really doing anything for you. Okay, they're trying to make your life easier by not having to go out and talk to people, which makes again no sense to me whatsoever in this business. This is a people business. You can't live off the internet. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you see online, how successful people are. You can make $25 a pound and hamburger from some of these marketing firms are telling you how you can make $200,000 in a day. I mean, come on. You know, it takes hard work. And it takes hard work and it takes a lot of time talking to people and getting set up before you're going to make a real good living. So, and you only have so much beef to sell anyway. So unless you have 1,000 head of cattle, you're not trying to reach 1 million people. You're trying to just reach a certain amount of people to sell what you got, but you want them for the long term. You don't want to just sell them one time. And that's why it's so important for you to learn how to contact people, how to talk to them, human behavior, how to prospect, how to follow up, all those things. And I can teach you that. And that's what we're trying to learn here on this site and through this podcast. But don't go out spending a whole bunch of money hiring all these people and doing all this stuff for you. It's a lazy man's way of doing it. It doesn't work. It's not a long-term solution. Yeah, you might sell a little bit of beef right off the bat, but it's not for that. You want long-term customers. Then you also want to be able to get these people in. You want long-term customers. Then you also want to sell them other things. Again, I keep bringing it up, but on your off time or your time or a couple hours a day, go find people that sell stuff besides beef that you don't presently sell. I gave you a whole list before. You got honey, you got wood, you got turkeys and pork and chicken, and you've got wine and you got berries. And there's 45, 50 different things I recommended before. Go find these people and get in contact with them and be a partner with them. Say, look, I'll sell your product. You sell my product. We'll make a little commission off each other, and offer your customer base these products. Give them a coupon. If they want some honey, I got 50 pounds or 50 jars of honey for sale. They're going to go quick. They're $12, whatever. Maybe you make, $2 or $3 a bottle. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it keeps your customers, and it makes you a little extra money. That guy then is turning around selling your beef if he's doing the same thing. If you do enough of these, you have enough pseudo salespeople out there helping you sell your beef as well. And you're making money off these people over and over and over again. And it does add up. It adds up to a lot of money over the long run. And it's such a viable way to stay in business, such a great way to make new friends and make new sales and let somebody else do the work. So, but they don't teach that in college either. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing that type of selling. And it works really well. Don't get so bogged down by starting buying clubs and all this other crap. That's fine. It sounds good on paper, but unless you've got a tremendous amount of product that you got to get rid of, and you shouldn't have a tremendous amount unless you built yourself up to that point and you've got customers lined up to buy it. If you start out with 100 head of cattle and you got to sell them, that's going to be tough. So yes, there are people that have buying clubs and they'll travel all the way from Iowa to Chicago to sell it. In the long run, what are they really making? that you want to be local. You want to sell local. There's enough business around your local area to make a really good living. And then you can expand as you go. The more you run out of product, you got to keep expanding a little bit. But you got to have that continual customer base to keep buying from you year after year, month after month, or whatever. So you've got those people so you can expand without much stress. Okay, you talk to your wife, your husband, say, look, I need to get 10 more head of cattle. We're selling more than we produce year after year. We need to expand a little bit. Well, it takes all the stress off it if you know you've already got everything sold. And you just got to beef it up a little bit more, sell a bit extra. You're expanding, but you're doing it in a realistic, responsible way, and you're selling these people other products as well. So if you got somebody you got unlimited amount of people buying honey from him, you got like all kinds. Maybe you should start your own bee service. Maybe or hire somebody to come out to the farm and start a bee service or a beehive for you. There's different things you can do knowing what people are wanting to buy from you. If you have them do it month after month, year after year, then you know. But these online services, you get one here, one there. They're not buying from you again. They're just going after what's the cheapest product. So, and you're not ever selling them anything besides that. So if you do sell them time after time, you're not selling them anything else. But it's pretty rare. I know a lot of people who bought certain steaks from certain places I'm not going to name, but they've never bought from them again. They just, never thought about it. No one's ever contacted them. No one's ever said anything to them. So no one's ever asked them to buy again. So they don't. They just go look for the next best thing. I don't know if anybody, and the other thing is, and I'm not going to go very long tonight. I just don't want to go into another 45-minute deal here, but does anybody really know? I see on Facebook a lot, people are offering huge discounts if they buy right now if you buy beef from them, they're offering 20%, 10%, whatever. They're giving away free stuff, which is fine. I just don't know. And just in general, though, I'm talking not these people, just in general, do you know what your costs are? Do you really know what it costs you to produce a certain cut in beef? Do you know what it costs you? So when you're charging people, do you know for a fact if you're making money? I will bet most people don't. I mean, if you really, really put pencil to it, do you really know what each cut or what each cow has cost you to produce? And are you getting enough out of it to make a living? Don't make this just a cash flow business. Make it a profitable business. There's cash flow businesses where you just got enough cash coming in over and over on to pay the bills. It just keeps recirculating. You're not really making any money, but you have enough cash flow to pay the bills over and over, month after month, year after year. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up to you. But right now, you're staying in business. You don't want that. You want a profit. So how much profit do you want to make? You got to know your costs. Okay. So you got to know how many, you want to know what your income wants to be for the year. You know how much you want to make a year. You got to know how many cows you're going to be selling. You want to know what your costs are, what you're selling it for. There's so many things you need to know. Do people really know? Well, I'm not sure they do, but I would keep that in the back of your mind and maybe sit down and figure that out. You're going into 2023 here pretty soon. Have you sat down yet with all your people in a marketing meeting and discussed 2023? Do you even know what you want to do for 2023? Do you have it in your head, or do you know legitimately, specifically what you want to do for 2023 and what changes you want to make? Do you have them in writing? Do your employees know this? Do they know what your thoughts are? It's very hard to work for somebody and really know what decisions to make and what to do if you don't know your owner's goals and what they want to do coming up in the future. So do yourself a favor, have a couple marketing meetings, sit down with your people, get it out on the table, discuss it, come back, discuss it again, come back and discuss it again. So it gets in everybody's head. Don't just have one meeting and say, all right, people, tomorrow, in 2023, we're going to raise sales by 30%. So go at it. You can't do that. You got to sit down and specifically tell them what you want to do, how you want to do it, why you want to do it, discuss it with them, figure out the best way to get it accomplished, get them involved. And don't do just one meeting, because the first meeting doesn't really sink in. They're not really even taking you that seriously. Have a second meeting. They'll take you a little bit more serious, get more input, fine line some things, throw out some things you talked about in the first meeting. Have a third meeting. Again, now that they really know you're serious, throw out some things maybe you talked about, narrow it down to a couple things that you really specifically, without a doubt, unwavering things you're going to do for 2023. And you're going to find out your employees will be happier, your farm's going to run easier and run better. Everything's going to be a lot better when everybody's on the same page. Then post those goals all over your business. Post them. Okay? Let people keep reminding people what the goals are. You know, they're going to leave the meeting, go back to what they're doing. It's not going to be in the forefront of their head. They're going to forget about them. Post it. Heck, even if it's something you want your customers to know, send it in some of the correspondence letter you send out. Let them know what your goals are for 2023. Let them know, hey, we're viable. We're real. We're a real business. We're realistic. These are the improvements we want to make for 2023. Be part of it. We want to keep you as a customer. We're counting on you. Make these come true. You know, let your customers know. How many times have you gotten a letter in the mail letting you know what the people you buy from anything and what their goals are for 2023? Never. And they ask you to be part of it. We want to keep you as a customer. Geez, I mean, who has that? Who's ever had that happen to them before? Not me. I'd love it though. And I like a handwritten letter sometimes, you know, even if it's handwritten at the end, sincerely, Jim Krause, signed by me, you know. I don't want a generic form most time. If it is generic, then I want a real signature. But I want to, maybe even the envelopes can be addressed to me in writing instead of just typed on there through a computer. The more you can make things personable, the better you're going to have as keeping your customers long term. Customers want to be part of something. They don't think they do, but they do. They're not always going to think of you, you know, their whole day, you know, their everyday lives. They're not going to come to the forefront every day they wake up. They're not going to think of ABC Beef as, oh, I wonder what they're doing today. But they're going to think of you when they want something. And that's what the whole trick is making sure you're in their front of their mind when they want something related to what you offer. You don't want them to think, well, I wonder who sells pumpkins around here. I wonder who sells pork. You know, well, I can't go to ABC. They just sell beef. That's the hard part. That's the part that's hard to swallow is you're seeing people go buy stuff from other places not knowing that you raise it or you can get it for them. And that's just a lot of money wasted. It's just ridiculous that we're not telling people what we do or what we can get for them. Because maybe you have the best source in the world for pasture-raised pork. Until you tell them, they're not going to know. They probably don't know where there is pasture-raised pork. Who does? Maybe it took you a while to find out a producer that does raise it, and you got this secret niche, and they want to know about it. Same with heritage turkeys and things like that. You know, the stuff that's really hard to get. People want to buy it, but they know you can get it. You want them to think of you. So that's another thing I don't like about the internet selling. Takes away all that. You know, you want to be somebody that they think of whenever they think of food. Good, healthy, great tasting food. Work on that between now and the end of the year, your marketing meeting. Again, go buy some books, tapes and stuff on human behavior, on prospecting, referrals, follow-up. Call me, 319-213-4672 if you have any questions or you want some help. I'm going to be setting up seminars again for 2023. I hope you guys can attend. We'll go talk about a lot of this. I'll let you know when I get them set up. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to call me. So again, I'm going to sign off. I'm not going to make a long one tonight. We'll get back at you again. I hope you guys have a great first start to your December. And I look forward to talking to you. And you can go to my Facebook page, Marketing Beef According to Jim. And I do write something. I try to write something there every night. Sometimes it's been every other night just because of time. But go on there, sign up. Love to have you guys. And please put your input in if you have anything you want to talk about. I would love to see it and talk about it on a podcast. You have a good night.